to sit around for a while. It's not my sometimes the best laid plans. So now I'm going to give you a briefing. It's strictly embargoed. It can't be played until we lift it. But I'm wanting to give you the background. Well, we hope it'll be sometime tomorrow. We're waiting for someone to sign something off. So
signing tomorrow.
Yeah, we will contact you when we know it. It's unfortunate, but that's. But I thought it important that you get a briefing. So I've invited you here today to provide some background and context to a matter of significant national importance. I want to state at the very outset that the information that I'm providing you with this afternoon must be treated in the strictest confidence. A news release will be issued at the earliest possibility to confirm our position, and I would ask that you regard this briefing as confidential until we lift the embargo. Since February of this year, the Isle of Man has been the subject of coordinated inquiries by media associated with the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. Our strategy has been to engage with journalists in order to defend the Isle of Man's reputation as a responsible jurisdiction. Ministers and officers have been dealing with The Guardian and the BBC in the UK, Le Monde in France, leading German media and Japanese TV. Tomorrow morning I will be interviewed for BBC's Panorama programme. Media attention is centred on the importation of business jets into the EU through the Isle of Man, with a particular focus on the VAT treatment of aircraft leasing arrangements. The ICIJ claims to have documents to support allegations of abusive VAT avoidance. They claim to have documents from a leading law firm. Despite repeated requests, the ICIJ has not yet presented us with any evidence to substantiate its claims. However, it is imperative that we take steps to defend the Isle of Man's position. After careful consideration of a range of factors, the Isle of Man government will be announcing an assessment of the practice for the importation of business jets. The scope of the assessment will be defined and published in November, with the work being completed in 2018. Now, we are taking a preemptive action to demonstrate that the Isle of Man is a well-regulated, open and transparent member of the international community. Consequently, where such matters are raised with us or our integrity is challenged, we will not be complacent. At this point, I must stress that during the course of an internal review, we have found no evidence of wrongdoing or reason to believe that our Customs and Excise Division has been involved in the mistaken refunding of VAT. The VAT treatment of the importation of aircraft into the EU is highly technical and complex area in which the Isle of Man follows the same policy, laws and rules as the United Kingdom. Without sufficient technical knowledge, we believe there is scope for the ICIJ to misunderstand the position. However, as I've just said, we take allegations of this nature extremely seriously, and by announcing that an assessment has taken place, we will demonstrate that the Isle of Man is prepared to take the appropriate action. Officers from the Department of Economic Development will be briefing members of the island's business community. We are proud of our diversified and thriving economy and reserve the right to defend ourselves against any allegations that would damage the trust and credibility we have worked hard to build in the international community. I should also add that the internal review, which started in October 2016, is aimed at testing the accuracy and efficacy of declarations made to it by those businesses. Of approximately 262 live VAT registrations in the sector, Isle of Man Customs and Excise has conducted 33 audits to date, and a further 13 audits are currently underway. Since 2011, Isle of Man Customs and Excise has raised more than 30 assessments for underdeclared or overclaimed VAT against businesses in the aircraft leasing sector, protecting approximately £4.7 million of VAT. As a government, we are unable to discuss individual cases publicly. However, we have a strong track record of working with the relevant authorities to investigate any evidence of improper activity. As a result of the ICIJ allegations, the Isle of Man could potentially find itself on the receiving end of a considerable amount of negative international publicity. That is why we have taken action ahead of any negative publicity that we may receive in the next few weeks. Our response will be robust. The Isle of Man is not a place that welcomes those seeking to evade or abusively avoid taxes. And I'm now happy to answer any questions.
You say protecting £4.7 million of VAT. What do you mean by protecting?
Well, ensuring that it's not given out or it's claimed back if someone has not done the process properly. If on an investigation you find that they've claimed for something, then the claim is denied or they're asked to refund a certain amount of money. If I can explain so you can understand where this started. Up until 2011, if you have a 8,000 kg jet over the weight of 8,000 kg, it was zero rated. Okay? After, I forget the exact date of 2011, it went from being zero rated to VATable, but you could claim all the VAT back if you used it for your business. And therefore, from that date, companies were claiming VAT back on their corporate jets, but they then had to go through our customs and excise. So we have obviously our aircraft register. It's just won the 2017 Global Aircraft Registry Award. It has nothing to do whatsoever with VAT returns or anything to do with the plane. It's purely, it registers the plane and ensures that the plane complies and whoever's running it complies with Civil Aviation Authority responsibilities. But if you are using that plane over a certain weight, you can claim the VAT back and you have to apply to our customs and excise, and we follow exactly the same rules in the UK.
The Isle of Man aircraft registry, if I'm right, it's a certain size, isn't it?
It's the biggest in Europe.
No, I mean in terms of the planes, it's a certain size of plane.
Yeah.
And helicopters, if I'm right, isn't it?
I couldn't go in. I don't know the in depth, but it's the aircraft registry doesn't get involved with VAT. So that's I'm just trying to divorce it from the allegations are that some individuals have claimed VAT back that they shouldn't have been entitled to.
So why are you dealing with this in the normal way? We've had stories from The Guardian and Panorama in the past.
Mm-hmm.
You say the reviews carried out so far have uncovered no wrongdoing.
Yeah.
So why? It's a TV programme, they've done an investigation, you respond to it. Why all this? Because it looks like you're panicking. And actually, it makes it look like there is something to hide. And that is completely opposite of what you want to do.
Well,
journalists do their job. They do investigations,
mm-hmm.
and you respond to them.
And we have been responding to them for a number of months now.
But why this? Why? I just don't get it.
Well,
and
because
very cloak and dagger as well.
Well, it's not cloak.
Most surreal.
It's not cloak and dagger. Well, I think if you're not dealing with a local newspaper here making an allegation, Adrian. You're dealing with the international investigative press, who are all.
They are journalists.
They are going to do a expose of their alleged evidence either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. And you have two options. You put your head in the sand and you ignore the problem and you let it happen, or you comment on it.
Or you do on Panorama and respond to the allegations, so there is no evidence.
Well, and that's what
if there is no
but we
evidence.
We have seen no evidence, but what they normally do is they then hit you with the evidence at a later time. So they make the allegations, and so I've agreed to appear on Panorama, obviously, because we've got nothing to hide. and I want to, point out that the Isle of Man is a responsible jurisdiction.
Why is it putting a press release? Why is it got to be embargoed? That's the other thing. And we don't even know when the embargo is.
Well,
we're not yet to use this.
Well, I think we wanted to give you a little bit more information, and the information we want to give you, we just need someone to agree. That's all.
I just think it's a very, very strange way of doing it.
Yeah. Is there anything, Liz, that you would?
Well, I just wonder if I could just see you for a few minutes, if that's all right.
Oh no, you're kidding. You're going to stop the press conference?
Just temporarily.
Okay.
What is going on?
I've really got to go.
Yeah,
Right, give me 1 second.
Just temporarily.
Well, this is getting bizarre by the minute.
It isn't just
No.
me here, is it? I'm not being null.
No.
Everyone thinks this is very, very weird.
do not know what's going on. Yeah. There's no story until we have the story.
This is a...
No, what it was, we wanted to have a review by Treasury, just to review our practices, to show the world that everything we do is absolutely straightforward, above board, because the damage this can do to the island's reputation, and I think you're missing the seriousness of it. This isn't a normal investigation, Adrian, this is a serious investigation, and we are confident that we have followed the procedures, and we wanted to get Treasury involved from the UK just to confirm that everything's been followed, and we just needed the sign-off from Treasury, and unfortunately the person that signed it off wasn't available until now. We thought we'd have it hours ago, but they've been held up, and it's now been. That's what I was just told. We've now had confirmation that we can announce that. So I should be able to give you the full press release shortly. I'll find out from the officers. So it was a technical problem that we could not tell you who was going to do the investigation until.
Are we going to be able to use this story in the paper tomorrow?
It's going to still remain under embargo.
Until when?
Probably tomorrow morning.
When tomorrow morning?
I can't be that specific at the moment, but I will, as soon as this is finished, I will go back and double check everything.
He's a paper that has to go to press tonight, that's why he's asking.
Right, okay.
I just think it should have been handled a lot better. Everyone's quite obviously unhappy. It's impractical, to be honest. We've told our editors that we've come for a strict, under the cover story.
Yeah, which you've got.
Yes, but I just think it hasn't been handled very well at all.
Well, we had the story ready for you. We had the news release, but unfortunately we had banked on someone signing off in the UK Treasury that we could.
The UK Treasury.
UK Treasury, yeah.
Why are they?
Because they would come in and review the practices to show.
The Isle of Man's aircraft registry or something.
It's not we're not talking, Aidan. You've missed. We're not talking about the Isle of Man aircraft registry here. It is the reclaiming of VAT on planes. It's got nothing to do with the aircraft registry. It's VAT and alleged abuses by individuals into claiming VAT back on planes that they're not entitled to.
But the planes presumably are registered here.
Correct. But the register doesn't get a no. The aircraft registry doesn't get. That's what I said at the start. The aircraft registry does not get involved in any VAT repayments. Okay.
So we're waiting for UK Treasury.
We have asked UK to prove that we.
So on embargo for a story that has implications for Mac's government.
Sorry.
You're waiting for UK Treasury to give the say-so on whether we can...
No, you're missing the point here. It's quite innocent. We are so confident, not so confident, but we are confident that nothing untoward has happened, that we have followed the rules correctly. To prove that point, we have invited HM Treasury to review.
Well, it shouldn't be for them to say so. Just put a statement out.
We're
above board.
We've
had X number of years doing this, and
you have
there
to.
was no wrongdoing. End of.
You can't say that they're going to do something if they haven't agreed to do it, Adrian. That's the point.
Do you know when this programme's being put out?
We don't. It could be. They said it could be at the end of this week. It could be next week. So, Liz, how far off are we?
I just need to check when the embargo will be listed, and as soon as I've done that, I'll issue that press release straight away.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. It's just unfortunate that we wanted to get the approval to say that someone was doing it. They weren't about to do it. You know, they have now agreed, and we'll get the detail to you. It was just a technical problem beyond our control. They had to appear in the House of Commons, that's all.